afternoon, everybody. Out on a shed hunt this afternoon up Logan Canyon. I haven't been up Logan Canyon yet. Oh, I was going to say this year, but that's not true. I came up one time. Found this little rub right here and just busted a doe and 2 fawns right out of this little thicket. So here's what we're hiking in. Not quite as steep as what I was in the other day. Just side hilling through all this thick stuff. Heading out to some open sage flats. You can hear the traffic on the highway down below me. 60% chance of rain. So may get wet today, but I got my raincoat. The pants I'm wearing are, I think they're water resistant. They're not technically rain pants. They do a pretty good job unless it's pouring really hard. They keep me dry. So see if we can find something. We got a few hours to spend up here today, about 5 hours actually, so we can get a pretty good hike in, and let's see if we can find something. Got the birds chirping all around us. Pretty little seep running down. And then this old underground water tank. It's kind of cool. It's halfway buried up here. I'm hiking in a new area. I've hiked near here, but I've never hiked this draw, so I've never seen that before. It's kind of cool. Back up so you can see the whole thing in your screen. I just busted 3 more deer. This time it was 2 does and a fawn. So I'm gonna work my way through this patch of trees, and it opens up into a big sage, and I'm gonna start climbing again. Still hear the highway down below me. There's the other side of the canyon. That's Blind Hollow over there for you guys who are familiar with the area. Rain picked up for a second, so I'm just hanging out under this pine tree. Put my raincoat on. I don't like to wear this raincoat more than I have to. It's breathable. It's supposed to be breathable anyway, but man, it makes me sweat so much. I might as well just get wet from the rain. But we'll hang out here for a couple minutes and then head back out into it. Well, you can probably hear that thunder above me. I got a thunder cell coming across. Switch from rain to hail. It's just tiny. It's not even pea size. But the wind's blowing so hard that, man, it's stinging when it hits. So I'm just camped out under this tree. We'll let this thunder cell blow over, and then we'll kind of start working over the ridge and start looping our way back. We'll just give this a few minutes to blow over. Well, we got the calm after the storm, but it looks like more's coming, so I'm heading out. It rained really hard for about 45-50 minutes, and then it sprinkled for another 45 minutes. So even though I've got a raincoat on and pants that are water resistant, I'm pretty wet. My boots weigh 30 pounds, they feel like. They're so waterlogged. They're waterproof boots. But as you guys know, when it's just constantly raining, and then you're walking through all this wet sage and wet grass, eventually, even if they're waterproof, they start soaking in a little water. So haven't found anything. Haven't really had a chance to look a ton. I mean, honestly, we hiked in, but I spent over an hour hanging out under that tree until the rain died down. And since it doesn't look clear over there, it looks like more's coming in. We're going to start heading back. Thought I'd do the minute on the mountain on the way out, guys. And I'm going to continue in this theme of biblical manhood that we started on the last video. And the trait I want to talk about today is that of a protector. Now, obviously, you know, the first thing we probably think of is protecting our wife and our kids from physical harm. And that's part of it. Certainly that's part of what we're called to do. But there's more to it than that. We're supposed to protect them emotionally. We're supposed to help protect them spiritually. Hold on real quick, guys. I got a little deadhead over here. It's just a little doe skull. And I can't help but think of the difference between Jesus and Adam. When Jesus is praying to God the Father in John 17, he talks about the fact that he has protected and kept everyone that God had given him. And he's talking about the 12 disciples specifically. And he says, you know, except for Judas, which, you know, to fulfill the scripture, he was going to betray Jesus. But we see Jesus talk about how he's protected the disciples. And we compare that to Adam. And we see the scene where Satan is tempting Eve. And after Eve takes a bite, it says she gave some also to her husband who was with her. So Adam is standing there the whole time that the devil is tempting Eve. He's standing right there beside her, and he's passive. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't say, hey, wait, Eve, that's not what God said. He doesn't stomp on the head of the snake. I mean, he's just passive. He doesn't protect his wife. And I think we can be guilty of that too. You know, think about how your wife is just lied to by culture every day. That she has to look a certain way to be beautiful, that she has to, you know, have a certain lifestyle to be successful. And man, if we just sit back and let our wives listen to that and take that, we are not protecting them. And then the same with our kids. Our culture is telling our kids lies every single day. And if we're not intentional about protecting them, about speaking truth into their lives, we're just falling short of our calling as men. So anyway, that's the trait for today, the trait of protector. So I hope you guys will think of intentional ways that you can be protective this week for your families and for those that you care about. One other thing I just want to mention, I've had quite a few guys ask me why I don't hike with other people. And, you know, hey man, it's not safe to hike alone. Well, it's not as safe, I agree. But I definitely take precautions, guys. I'm not foolish. So even today, I've got 2 different ways to make a fire on me. I've got a lighter, I've got waterproof matches. I've got some fire starter sticks that are soaked in, you know, kerosene or some other kind of flammable liquid. I always have food with me. I've got 3 different bottles of water, and I also have a life straw. And I'm not too far from the river, so if I got desperate, I could go down, and with that life straw, I could drink. I wanted to hike farther today, but with all the rain, all the wet, and I got fairly wet, I just knew it would be silly to be out here after dark when the temperatures drop, you know, for risk of hypothermia. So I guess just a couple things. You know, I'm not foolish when I go out, even though I go by myself. And if you guys have seen how thick some of the stuff is I hike in on the last couple of videos, that's why I'm usually by myself. Folks don't like to go with me very often. And I have to go kind of at odd times. You know, a pastor's job is not 9 to 5, so a lot of times I might have some time off in the middle of the day from 2 to 5, but then I have meetings and counseling after 5 when other people get off work, and so it's just tough for guys to be able to go with me. But hey, thanks for coming along today. We did not find any sheds. We kind of got rained out. But it was a beautiful day on the mountain. Ended up seeing 7 deer so far, 1 blue grouse, and then a couple chipmunks. So we've got a little bit left to the truck, maybe 3/4 of a mile. So there's still a chance we'll find something. But unless we do, I'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain. Take care, guys.